Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to Read with Melanin. Today we are talking about the books that are coming out in October that I might want to read. With that being said, let's go through our disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1, these are not all of the books that are coming out in October that I know about. These are just the 10 that I picked to talk about today. I'm probably not going to read them all in October when they come out, but they are going on my TBR, my never-ending TBR, so that eventually I will get to them. And then I tried to give a little bit of variety so that, you might actually be interested in reading these too. As always, let me know down below books that you're interested in reading, books that you think I might be interested in reading. I love hearing from you guys, and I really appreciate the comments. With that being said, I'm also trying to get to 500 subscribers, and I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button and let me know with an emoji or something in the comments. On to the actual reason I made this video. This book comes out October 7th, and it is The Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. As y'all know, or if you don't know, I really enjoyed the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I didn't necessarily like the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, the spinoff to that, but I'm not going to hold that against her because if I'm not mistaken, this is her debut adult book that's coming out. It says it's her adult debut novel. So what is it about? Well, it says it's a contemporary fantasy kicking off a brand new series. It starts with a class in an old movie theater, Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths, taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense. Except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. With the clock ticking, Holland is pulled deeper into this magical world in the heart of Los Angeles and into the path of a magnetic stranger. Everything about him feels like a bad idea, but he promises Holland that her sister sent him to protect her. As they chase clues and stories that take them closer to the alchemical heart, Holland realizes everyone in the intoxicating new world is lying to her, even this stranger. And if she can't figure out whom to trust, not even the alchemical heart will save her. It's kind of giving a little bit of premises of the second series, the Once Upon a Broken Heart. But again, I'm trying to give it a chance. And I like Stephanie Garber, the way that she writes. So I'm hoping this is not a situation where I end up in another DNF. But life is short. I will DNF if I have to. This next book also comes out October 7th. And it is not a book I would normally recommend. But on my reading bingo card, it is read a thriller. And I have a couple thriller options that I'm going to share with y'all today. And this one is The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book, I'm concerned because Tiffany has y'all, if you've ever read a Tiffany D. Jackson book, you already know you're in for a treat. I just don't know what kind of treat she's giving me for this one. So it says, this story follows a freshman girl whose college life is turned upside down when her roommate's ex-convict brother moves into their dorm and starts controlling their every move. Wow. Out from under her overprotective parents, Jordan is ready to kill it in pre-law at a prestigious historical Black college in Washington, D.C. So I'm guessing Howard. When her new roommate's brother is released from prison, the last thing Jordan expects is to come home and find the ex-convict on their dorm room sofa. But Devontae needs a place to stay while he gets back on his feet, and how could she say no to one of her new best friends? Devontae is older, as charming as he is, intelligent, pushing every student he meets to make better choices about their young lives. But Jordan senses something sinister beneath his friendly advice and growing group of followers. When one of Jordan's roommates goes missing, she must enlist the help of the university's lone white student to uncover the mystery or become trapped at the center of the web of lies, more tangled than she could survive. Now, I do wonder why we specifically mentioned that she befriended the one white student at the HBCU. But again, I'm trying to give it a chance because that kind of made me like side eye, but we're giving it a chance. This book also comes out October 7th, and it is her YA introduction, and that is Heartsick by Christina Forrest. Because I loved her previous books, The Neighbor Favor, I love the Green Sisters story. I decided I wanted to start giving her more chances. And from what I understand, this might not actually be her YA debut. I don't know what I was reading that for, but it says a sweet and fast-paced contemporary teen romance. It's focused on a high school senior. Margot Whitman is an intern at Healing Hearts, Inc., the company that created the innovative pill that can erase a person's heartbeat overnight. Every weekend, Margot witnesses patients get cured of their broken hearts. Meanwhile, she's nursing a heartbreak of her own. With college on the horizon and their futures taking them to different directions, she and her ex, Isaac, recently called it quits. Margot has thought about taking the pill, but erasing her love for Isaac doesn't feel right. However, the heart breaks all over again when Isaac shows up at the Healing Heart Center, presumably seeking a pill to stop loving her. As soon as Isaac walked through the Healing Heart Center doors, he knew he'd made a mistake. Even though he's struggling with his heartbreak, he realized that doesn't have to fall out. Oh, that's really cute. I'm sorry. This actually sounds like it would make a really cute rom-com, or not even a rom-com. It would make a really cute movie to watch on TV, like a Hulu special. I think this will be cute. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely reading this one. This one made me like, oh, you two are pathetic. This book actually also comes out October 7th, and this one was the cover look fire. Let me see what it's about book. This is For No Mortal Creature by Keshet Chow. This says, a teen girl with the power of resurrection must venture into the afterlife, but to survive the death realm, she'll need the help of her two mortal enemies, both of whom she is inexplicably drawn to in this romantic gothic fantasy inspired by Wuthering Heights. When Jai Yi suddenly finds herself alive again after being stabbed through the heart by an enemy's sword, she realizes she possesses a rare power, the ability to move between the living realm and the shrouded world of ghosts. Ghosts including Lynn, her ex-best friend and former love, whose betrayal she still hasn't recovered from. So wait, like all the girls' exes are dead. Did she kill the exes? Like, I have questions. Okay. She travels to the afterlife when her beloved grandmother abruptly passes away. I'm not going to read too much more. I lost my train of thought because I said, wait, your two mortal enemies are also dead. Did you kill them, sis? Like, is that how? That actually would be intriguing if like the story starts like, yeah, like, well, technically they're both in the afterlife because I killed them. That actually would have me reading the book. There might be something wrong with me. I know. It's fine. Let's just go on to the next book. If you can hear them outside cutting grass, I apologize. They got to do what they got to do. The next book, okay, I'm going to just read the premise and then I'll tell you the title. It says, Gillian Flynn's Gone Girl meets P-Valley. In this adult thriller debut about two missing erotic dancers from Atlanta's most notorious gentlemen's club and the women committed to finding them. First of all, I've actually never read Gone Girl, and I've never watched an episode of P-Valley. However, my sisters, my best friends, they're obsessed with P-Valley, and they give, like, whenever they talk about P-Valley, it's very interesting. It's full of drama, and so we're talking about Boomtown by Nick Stone. This book comes out October 14th. Yeah. This next book also comes out on October 14th, and it is Kill the Beast by Sarah Swift. So it says, The Witcher meets Howl's Moving Castle in this debut original fairy tale of revenge, redemption, and friendship. So it says it's for fans of T. Kingfisher, Naomi Novik, and cozy fantasy with a dash of gritty adventure. The night Lissa Cadogan's brother was murdered by a fairy-made monster known as the Beast, she made him a promise. She would find a way to destroy the immortal creature and avenge his death. For 13 years, she's been hunting fairies and the abominations they created. I'm intrigued. I don't know what I thought I was about to get into, but I guess the title said it all, and I'm still like, oh, she is a fae hunter, a bounty hunter? It comes out October 14th. This is hold on. I didn't write this down. This is, it's listed. Why is everything a romantasy? For the love of God, leave like, I'm so sick of romantasies. This story actually does not need to be a romantasy. It says it's adult, but it's got romantasy, sci-fi, fantasy. I don't know who put the labels on this, y'all, but y'all gotta stop. Like, it can't be everything, you know? It can't be everything. But here we are. This is a book that is, I guess, like her adult fiction debut. This is Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce. This also goes into the whole horror thriller situation that I'm trying to give a shot because I hear people reading it and they really enjoy these kinds of books. And I'm a punk. So yeah, it says, Fee St. Margaret is a daughter of the Reconstruction, born to a family of free Black business owners in New Charleston, coddled to within an inch of her life by a mother who refuses to let her daughter live a life other than the one she dictates. Fee yearns to demonstrate she's capable of more than simply marrying well. When When word arrives that her Aunt Cleo, long estranged from the family, has passed away, Fee risks her mother's wrath to step up and accept the role of Pomp, the not highly honored duty of planning the funeral service. Traveling alone to the town of Horizon in her aunt's unsettling home, Fee soon discovers that visions and shadows beckon every reflective surface, and that some secrets transcend the borders of life and death. Now, I talked about this in my fall TBR. I'm trying. I can't say that it's 100%. This is going to probably give me nightmares. I don't know. We might vlog my attempts at like trying thriller and horror books. So if you have some recommendations that are not too crazy, leave them down below in the comments and like I will see what I can do. No promises. This next book comes out October 23rd, and it is Firstborn of the Sun by Marvelous Michael Anson. This book, the cover is just breathtakingly beautiful. I cannot stress that's what pulled me into this book. I had no idea what the book was about. I just knew that it needed to be on my list of books I wanted to read. Excuse me. And so this is what it's about. It says, it's a lot of praise. It says, she's the only one without Agbara, the ability to harness power from the sun. On pain of death, she must conceal it from everyone, including her best friend, Alawani. But when the gods declare Alawani in Alufa, a great honor where he will serve the gods and the kingdom, he must be stripped of his powers in a brutal trial likely to kill him. Unwilling to bear his death, Laura vows to rescue him. When she desperately attempts to channel Agbara, an icy shadow magic instead pours from her hands, a power she learns originated from a forbidden secret land beyond the 6 rings of Uru. One where she and Alawani must now seek sanctuary and discover a secret that could bring the kingdom to its knees. I don't need to read further. I'm down. Let's do it. I've never read a book by this particular author. I do know that it's supposed to be like high fantasy, epic fantasy. And that's kind of what I've been missing this year, I think. And I hope, without putting too much pressure on this book, I hope that I'm going to get what I'm asking for with this book. This next book is another one by an author that I really enjoy, and it is Never Ever After by Sulin Tan. This book comes out the 28th of October. I've definitely already talked about this book a couple of times, but I will say that this is basically this is like a Cinderella retelling, but it's like from the story of like a thief. And I'm intrigued. And that's all I'm going to say. I feel like I've talked about this enough. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen me talk about this book. And so I want to save any future thoughts I have on it until I actually read the book. This book also comes out October 28th. And I don't know, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've heard from some ARC readers. Some of them loved this book. Some of them felt like this book was cringe. So I don't really know where this is going to lie. This will be my second attempt at Any Davenport, and this is Our Vicious Oaths. Now, everything that Any Davenport has kind of showcased about this book is about the smut, so I don't really know about the storyline. And to be honest, I could care less about the smut because I really believe Any Davenport could write a really good fantasy if the smut wasn't the forefront. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but it says, enter a new world of romantic fantasy, a journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers, and political intrigue. I don't like that that's how it starts off with the description. I'm not going to hold y'all, but I'm trying to give this book a chance. It says, as a warrior princess and a vengeful king from rival Fae courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot, princess of the Aether Dominion, Kadisha wants nothing to do with politics. She is a warrior first and foremost and believes her greatest strength is leading her squadron of an elite winged serpent flyers to protect her homeland. That is a lot. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to read the description. Okay. I loved Any Davenport's first book, Blood Trials, loved it. The second book, I was a little let down because I felt like we didn't get answers to a lot of things. I did not read her YA book. This book, again, I've heard mixed reviews about it from ARC readers that I know. I'm not disclosing their names because, sometimes people are a little testy about their books, and I understand that. But I don't want to count it out entirely, but I have heard some parts that make me cringe. Like I have seen some writing from the ARCs that make me cringe, and I'm hoping that that's not the entire book. I hope that Any Davenport gives me a world that I want to stay in. And so we're giving it a chance. I just can't read that. For some reason, the description almost turned me off. on to the next book. This next book comes out the 21st of October. I have it written as October 31st. I don't know why, but it comes out October 21st and is The Isle of the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. The cover was intriguing. I was like, ooh, it looks like Chick Nights. Like Night, not nighttime. It says, from the world fantasy award-winning author Tasha Suri comes The Isle in the Silver Sea, a heart-shattering romantasy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm taking this one off the list, y'all. Nope. I'm sorry. I'm actually sick of romantasies. I'm sick of it. I want real fantasy back. And I guess we're going to rant. I want real fantasy back. I feel like diminishing every book to just be a romance book set in a fantasy world is so annoying. Like, there's a whole section for fantasy romance in the romance world. Why did we have to separate that and try to create a new genre in fantasy when it already existed? Please stay over there. Every new book should not be a freaking romantasy. With that, you know what? That's it. That's the list. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm so sick of, I went through so many books trying to find books that I was interested in reading. And so many of the fantasy books coming out are all romantasies. It needs to stop. I'm sick of it. I thought this trend would die down by now. But like, if you want a romance set in a fantasy world, just go read a fantasy romance. It already exists. The genre is already there. Leave the fantasy alone. Romance has always been in fantasy. It doesn't have to be the forefront. It doesn't have to be the whole story. You stop ruining my fantasy genre. And on that note, I'm going to stop ranting. Let me know what books you guys are excited to read in the month of October. And as always, love y'all. See y'all later. Bye.